Hello, moguls. It's Dr. T here, and I am tuning in with you today to do a really powerful mogul upgrade, what we call a mogul up into high reality, which is all about why you must become powerful, wealthy, and free before it is too late. All right, so this is the upgrade we're doing today. And it's important to stay tuned because this is a multi-million dollar upgrade into a higher reality, a mogul, powerful influencer reality where whatever you're doing, whatever shape or form it is now, it has the opportunity to shape into a empire and dynasty reality that elevates humanity, transforms society, and leaves a legacy of positivity. And that is what is at stake here with this upgrade. So, why you must become powerful, wealthy, and free before it's too late is a really important imperative because we are at a transition point in humanity where we are being required to operate at the highest levels that humans have ever been required to function, be productive, and also one of the most important things to transition fast, quickly, at a level of pacing that is unlike anything we've ever seen. And there have been no other humans that have ever had to do transformation, transition, upgrading from one world into another so epically, rapidly. Now, it's really important for you to become fully empowered, wealthy, and free because we are going into a brand new reality, transitioning from one era to the other, the Industrial Revolution to the technological transformation revolution will become something we've never seen before. Near. Now, this would all so much better if the way in which evolution had planned this, the powerful sources, the creative energies, the higher powers that create reality, and however you want to refer to it as your creator, that is bringing us through an evolutionary process. If their plan and that message and the message of our great creator, or I always refer to it as our great reality maker, taking us through this upgrade, it would be one thing to navigate through it the way that it is intending us to make a shift from one reality to another, from one curriculum to another, from one frequency to another. However, because we have had, in addition to the reality programming we've been receiving through the neutrinos, the bits of energy in reality that are programming us, if we were just receiving those and it was just telling us all this amazing, great new stuff we're gonna be able to do, it would be one thing. But we have unfortunately been at the effect of the man-made programming of manipulation that has been going on for centuries and generations that is, ultimately creating dysfunction and is counter to the evolutionary forces of transformation and where that takes us moment to moment, day by day, month by month, and year by year. So it's essential that you become more powerful, wealthy, and free right now as a priority and putting this as your top priority before it's too late. Because the only people who are going to be able to manage the massively, massively large upgrade that is happening in our world over what has begun some time ago, what is intensifying now, and what will get at its most intense between this year and 2027, when it clicks in and we are officially in a completely different frequency. And just so we know, different frequency creates a different reality. It is the people who understand that we are in a different moment, that this is unlike any other moment, and this requires something different. And it is the people that understand what needs to be done. And the people who are the wealthiest, the most powerful, and the most free are going to be both leading it like they are, and they're also going to get the most benefit out of it. And for those of you who may not feel that way right now, it's time for you to step into being powerful, wealthy, and free as your absolute number one priority. Because this man made programming that has been going on for centuries has been disrupting what would naturally have been you, your partner, your family, your team, your friends, your community being at a much higher state of consciousness and a much higher frequency, which would have made this transition much more easy. But what has been going on is that depending on what country you live in and where, and the more westernized country, the more you have been being manipulated into disempowerment. And in general, unless you are part of the power elite structure that is running the world, forget countries and nationalities, they've got their own reality they're running. Unless you are part of that powerful level of people who are just people who got themselves up to that level so they could just call the shots, you've got to make becoming powerful, wealthy, and free your priority. Because on one hand, you have been given the absolute worst programming they could give you while they taught themselves to be powerful, wealthy, and free. You give your family, your community, your friends, your neighbors, the school system, the entire system of reality, the work system. You have been being indoctrinated into being disempowered, in poverty, and in a prison of a manipulated reality in order to keep you small, in order to keep you meek, and in order to keep you more in a slave position as opposed to one of being a master and being in mastery. So much of your life, depending on who you are and where you're from, where you have been developed and where you've been marinating in an environment, if you look closely enough and are willing to be honest with yourself, there is a small population of people in the world who have been programming themselves, their children, their partners, their family, and everyone else to allow them to be the most powerful, wealthy, and free people on the planet, calling all the shots, creating all the rules, gaining so much power, wealth, and freedom that they have stockpiled it and are exponentially receiving it. They have so much of it, it keeps making more of it to such a degree that they get to literally do anything and everything they want. And they will give you the sense that you have power over them. But let's get real, you do not. They are running the reality. So they're going to have a much easier time shifting into this upgraded frequency, going from the Capricorn era that we've had for a very long time into the Aquarian era of revolutionary transformation, i.e., going from the industrial revolution to the technology revolution. And they're going to just maximize and capitalize on it because they continue to put themselves in a position to do so. While they give themselves that playbook and they give you the playbook through the rest of reality with a different set of rules, a different set of schools, a different set of programming that includes telling you and getting you all to tell each other that power is bad. Don't want power. You're a bad boy or a bad girl. Don't want wealth. Those are mean people and bad people. Don't want wealth while they're over there just creating it. And don't want freedom while they're living it and now have created it for themselves to literally have the freedom to go anywhere they want, do anything they want, create whatever they want, and get you to do whatever they want because they have the force of all the resources. They call the shots while they have been telling you, and depending on where you live, more so than some other places, but depending, like, say, if you live in the United States, they've been telling you that you are free, while nothing in their entire curriculum and reality is programming you to actually be free. There's nothing in the schools, there's nothing in the lower schools, universities, there's nothing in the process of getting you to follow the marriage prescription, the family prescription, the whole reality prescription that is telling you and helping you and programming you to be powerful, wealthy, and free. Quite the opposite. While they create amazing assets of themselves and invest in themselves tremendously with constant advisory, they make you feel ashamed of even asking for help. While they create strategic alliances and partnerships that look like marriages, they get you in a fantasy of falling in love and having someone come and rescue you with a slipper so you can live happily ever after, while they create strategic alliances and partnerships, empires and dynasties, while they give you the languages of creating, going to get a job and having a profession and getting an education, which is all designed to keep you at a certain level and get you to do certain things that benefit them, but not be so powerful, wealthy, and free that you will compete with them for the resources, for the power. And so the time is now for you to get more powerful, wealthy, and free, and to put all of your focus and attention on that, because we go through this upgrade between right now and what's been going on in 2027, where the new frequency will kick in and we will no longer have a reference point anymore because we will be in a different frequency, and a different frequency creates a different reality. Period. End of story. We will have no frame of reference for going forward and what it will be, only that it will be constant change, constant upgrading, constant up-leveling, constant transformation, constant learning, constant focus, and the ability to keep upgrading, transforming. And that is the only option. And the people who have been making themselves more powerful, wealthy, and free have been learning to transform generation after generation. They are all the living embodiments of constant transformation and creation of the highest levels of power, wealth, and freedom, and innovation, and empires and dynasties. And they are way more prepared for what the evolutionary process is that is happening here on Earth, as Earth upgrades itself, sheds the previous reality and all the residue from it, embodies a new reality of absolute prosperity. And where those who are already more transformed, transformable, more powerful, wealthy, free, and focused in that territory, in that area, and oriented there, will be able to literally receive the entire dynasty of freedom that is coming to people who are at a higher frequency, because it cannot come to you if you are too low in the frequency, in disempowerment, poverty, and imprisonment. The new, amazing, abundant prosperity reality cannot literally get into your system, and it will bypass it. So, whatever you are all doing, whatever you're focused on, and whatever your distractions are, which is often going to be the way that they have continued to focus you on all these things you have to do that keep you on the hamster wheel while they take advantage of all the opportunity and will literally be it. The age of Aquarian prosperity is the water bearer. It is literally going to be flooding prosperity to those that are oriented to it and understand that you were taught wrongly not to care about being empowered, not to care about being wealthy, and not to care about being free. There is hardly anything in the language of most countries in the world that is about teaching you and programming you to be free people. If we were to be calling the richest, wealthiest, most powerful, elite people in the power structure, if we didn't call them rich or wealthy people and we just called them free people, those are the free people, and you want to follow that track, and we said, why don't you make your entire focus finally for once in your life becoming free and make that an all-encompassing overview of being wealthy and powerful? That might make more sense to you. Like, do I want to be a free person? Does that sound correct to me? Of course you do. And that is the curriculum you're in and the video game you're in. And it is at this moment imperative that you focus your attention, your orientation, and your receptive qualities into becoming more powerful, wealthy, and free before it is too late and you drop further down the frequency as the new frequency is coming in and therefore directs itself and matches itself to those who are more powerful, wealthy, and free, which even if you just begin to say them and focus on them, it will raise your frequency and you will start to match the frequency of the new reality. If you continue to go along with the distraction program that has been done to humanity and the most of the mass population for centuries and many generations, telling you to be over here and to just do this and be good boys and good girls and focus on your job and da 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 da, while all these other powerful people literally are moguls, investors, freedom seekers, freedom creators, innovators, empire builders, dynasty creators, big time reality makers and legacy makers, while they give you a different language, a different system, and keep you on that system because you believe you have to stay on it and are afraid to step off of it in case you don't land where you need to land. The bottom line is the ground that was there, the reality that was there that you have been living on in that former reality is literally dissolving day by day as the new reality comes in. It is going quickly, rapidly. It will not be there as a shore for you to hang on to while you swim to the other. Swim, jump, flow on you, and whatever other people are doing who do not get this and what transition we are in and what upgrade is upon us. And what will happen if you don't upgrade actively and proactively and you then get forced to upgrade. A force upgrade is another way to talk about being in painful resistance while it's happening and intense crisis as the only way that the upgrade could happen because you were behind the process and you were too low for what it was trying to do for you. So people that are in a higher frequency, power, wealthy, free, that's higher, they experience it like this is the greatest thing ever. And when you're down in the low frequency, you will experience it as a low, painful, suffering, brutal intensity. So now is the time for you to orient yourself away from the old programming and to becoming more powerful, wealthy, and free. Pretend, because it's true, that the people that are at the top that are calling the shots, let's not even call them wealthy anymore. Let's just call them free for now. They are free and they are also in charge. And the only way your life is going to change is not by expecting them to want to make that happen for you because they're interested in gaining more and more power, more wealth, and more freedom because that is the focus of what they're supposed to do. They're ahead of it. It's your time to join it. It's your time to quit whining about not having it. And if you need a moment to say, well, gee, aw, shucks, that sucks that I let them program me into one way of being while I watched them do another thing and I bought into that. Most people feel that way. And as someone that has trained and transformed people my entire career to go from lower level leadership of self and family and company and all of that into higher mogul reality leadership, creating empires and dynasties and high level realities and destinies and multi generational wealthy dynasties and legacies that are transformative. I can tell you that it is your role and curriculum and responsibility to rise up in that. Focus on that, put all other distractions aside, and anyone that doesn't get that, you need to go forward and upward in it. And make sure that at this moment you move into more power, wealth, and freedom before it is too late. All right, moguls, this is your upgrade. This is your focus. Even if you just begin to speak these words, immerse in them and marinate in them and understand and awaken to the truth of this, that is their job to do that for themselves and play the game as high level as they can. And it's your job to get on board with that and start to become a player of the actual game of reality because you were taught it was something else. And that was one of their greatest strategies to distract you in this Hunger Games, which was to tell you this is the game while they played another. And now it's time for you to come into your power. All right, moguls, thanks for taking this upgrade. Ideally, you would like, comment, and share as an affirmation that you are here to manifest and generate and build a new amazing reality and project it into the world. Be in your most powerful self and a top mogul reality, family, company, and your destiny and legacy. Very, very important that you check out all the other content on this channel that is here to transform you into a more powerful, wealthy, free self. Start to download it, immerse into it. It's a pathway that is being set for you. In the description in this video, there are also several options for how you can get where you need to go and how you can do it now. All right, moguls, thanks for tuning in for the upgrade. See you soon. Bye-bye.